Sheesh, man, another summer. Think back to it, man. 2020 in a football shed. Now we here. I mean, look where we at. Look at the beautiful space here with a Kut Different retreat. Game planning, putting in the work. No matter where we go, we're going to put in the work. But just to talk about the journey, man, the journey of being where we at, coming from where we at, being to where we at, it's been amazing, man. I don't regret nothing, but it's God. You know, I can't see you. See my shirt says, God is in Ocala. You know what I'm saying? God is in me. And God is in everything Kut Different. And man, this is God's plan. This is everything. God had purpose for my life, and I'm just a walking vessel that He blessed to be able to walk on this journey, man. So we're going to continue to do it. But what we going to do back there on the set? We're going to talk about this summer, man. Summer 2024. So much to do. So much we're going to do. So much you're going to see. I can't wait, man. So come on with it. Welcome world, welcome family to another episode of the EL2A Podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Gilmore Jr. Before you even go nowhere, look where we at, man. It looks a little different, don't it? You know where we at right now? We at the Kut Different Leadership Retreat. We got the mentors here, man, and we're game planning for summer 2024. I need a rocket to go across the screen and say, shh. We're going to the moon, man. I want to tell y'all. So y'all already know, with Kut Different Inc., man, our mission is to guide young men on their greatness. So daily, we're passionate all through everything we do of guiding young men on their greatness. Here on the EL2A Podcast, exposure leads to access. We're giving out that free game, man, because we know that through the information, through the exposure that we give through us, through the guests, that it's going to lead you to access to whatever that means to you. All right, so that's what we're doing here, man. But I'm telling you, summer 2024 is going to be amazing. All right, I'm going to give you a date. July 26th. We're going to talk about it more here on the podcast, but just remember July 26th, and make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. But all right, I got some other people with me too. I'm not just here. To the right of me, we got Mr. Military Man, Mr. Miles Laconical. How you feeling today, brother?
Feeling good.
Feeling good. How you feeling about the vibes right now, brother? How's it treating you?
Good, man. I mean, you got the water. I mean, it's peaceful. I mean, you got the water behind us. You in Florida. What other place would you rather be? I mean, this is home. We lucky. We blessed.
Best state in the world, man. They come here to travel. We live here.
They come here to play. We live here at all. Can't get any lower, man. I mean, we just on cloud nine.
All right, to the right of him, we got the Rocket. Highest 7 years hiding behind the shades today. Mr. Eddie Rocket, how you feeling today, brother?
Feeling pretty good, man.
Talk to him, man. Tell us something. How you feel about the vibe?
Hey, look, should be here. Tell you, you're missing out right now. This is where you need to be, man. It's real cool, man. You hear the fish in the back, man. They jumping, ready to get out there and catch some. But nah, it's real relaxed, like Miles said, man. It's something cool.
Well, listen. Summer 2024. So what we gonna do here today, man? We're gonna open it up. I want to paint a picture for you all, because I want you all to be able to go through this journey with us. And then when we get to back, and we're like, hey, look how we come. You like, dang, they've been talking about that since whatever the day's date is. What's the day's date? May something. But anywho, what we're gonna do? All right, fellas, the 23rd. Thank you, May 23rd. So starting the summer off, June 3rd is when we start our summer program off. We have 25 young men that will be entering our summer program. Some been there last year and some haven't. I want to paint a vision right now for you. I want to paint a vision of everything we're going to do this summer. This summer we had 8 exposure trips that we're going to do, 8 workshops that we're going to do. We had a computer science and coding course, SEL, social and emotional learning. We have financial literacy course ran by Mid-Florida. We got a Kut Different leadership course that we running where we're going to be all communication. We're going to have boys glazing the stage, brazing the stage, all the different words, whatever you want to use. They're going to be on stage public speaking. And we all know the importance of public speaking, and we all know that people fold. But we're going to show you that young man, that they can stand on 10 toes and speak in front of the camera. And you remember I said today, July 26th, that's our summer banquet. All right, so we got our summer banquet on July 26th. We hope to see you there. We'll be put information out next week about, well, when this come out, the information will be out. We'll be having information where you can buy a table, you can buy a ticket, and it's going to be lit. All right, so to my partners, what are you looking forward to most this summer? All right, any one of y'all can start. Don't jump at once. What are you looking forward to most this summer?
The fun times, man. You got to think about it. The experience that we had last year with the boys, I think that was one of the most happiest moments as a mentor, I guess I could say. You know, we got the boys to be vulnerable. We shed tears, we smiled together. I think we grew together. I mean, so just to be able to see, the young men that we practically been with the whole summer or the whole school year, Now we got them for the summer, and we could actually take them all, these different trips, these different places, and just to see where where the miles at now, to see the growth that they had from last year to this year. I think that'll be real big, real impacting, just to see, how they mentally have taken the information and the guidance that we gave them from last summer to this summer. And that'd be real big.
So me and you started this thing. So one thing we always talk about the word exposure, what exposure meant to our life, how we understand that, exposure leads to expansion, meaning that once you're being exposed to something, you can't forget it. You can't just walk away from an experience and forget it. That's stuck and ingrained into you, and it's up to you to do something about it. I want you to expand on the exposure piece of it. So what is the importance of the exposure that we're giving to these boys?
Man, with the exposure in itself, bro, you really just, you're giving them something that they never seen, they never had before. That's more impactful than anything. I mean, being from Ocala, and not even just being from Ocala, just being from the I guess your everyday environment. If that's all you know, that's all you know. You're never gonna be able to experience and never be able to see different things. So not being able to see other things outside your environment, how can you shoot for the stars if all you know is what's right in front of you? So being able to expose somebody to something different, now they can shoot for that different thing that they see that can take them further on in life, success or financial wealth, different things. So exposure is real key to man.
And can you think about one experience in particular just to share with our people? Because I know what we doing. We know how we cooking up and how we changing these boys' life. Is there one key experience to one boy in particular when we talk about exposure that stick to you? And I share one out to me. This is very simple. If you remember, for one of our first exposure trips we took, we went to City Hall. So in Ocala, Florida, small locale, we went to City Hall, and King Gwynn was in office, and the boys were able to sit in the offices, sit in the chairs, and I never get that experience, bro. That was like 2020, 2021. And after we left there, one of the boys came to me and said, my mom said I'm the first, what'd he say? I'm the first black person to meet the mayor. It was something crazy that they said, but even to think that that's the level that they at. They think that like the mayor is not touchable, you know what I mean? And we live in a small locale. It's not like we live in New York City or something like that. Like they feel like the mayor is a touch. That exposure alone, us walking them into that bar and say your mayor's a regular person just like you. He put his britches on just like you do. He put his sneaks on just like you do. You can do this too, bro. This is for you. They were able to sit in the chamber, sit in the chairs in that experience alone. Can you think of an experience like that?
Yeah, I mean, it was one for sure was when we went to Team Cone. So think about it. I worked there for 7 years. And the impact that I guess I made while I was working at the work ethic, the hard work that I put in while I was there, I left a good note there. So when the boys came, they were able to expound. The Team Cone was able to expound to the boys how the work that I put in to go from the warehouse up into department manager. How I went from one place to the next. How I excelled. And it was funny because at the end of that, they like, dang, Mr. Eddie, you got a lot of money. Basically, they would say like I was a millionaire or something. But, just that exposure alone, it shows them that somebody right in front of them, somebody that they see on a day-to-day basis excelled and got to a certain point in life that they could get to too. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's big for them to be able to actually see, feel, touch, talk to their mentors that got to a certain place in life. And for them to be able to walk and see where, the experiences that I had, for them to be able to say, hey, I can do that too. I think that's real big.
Being able to touch it, man. It's so key to be able to say, I can reach out and touch you. You know what I mean? And what's success, you're successful. You know what I mean? And be able to see it. Like y'all brothers are the brothers that my mentor, these men are successful, they family man, and I can touch them. I can do it too. All right. But by itself, Brother Miles, what you think? What you most looking forward to about the summer?
Just seeing them grow and helping them grow. As they say, if you ain't growing, you dead. And that comes in different forms and fashion. A lot of times we think growth is just, our professional stuff, but it's emotionally, it's spiritually, it's mentally. How are we tapping in and helping them grow and just watching them manifest over the time period from the beginning to the end and just seeing that growth and then seeing that motivation, that confidence that's been built up through trial and error and fire and just us pouring into them and getting them ready for the school year, because that's what it's about. Summer with us, yes, we're gonna have the good times. Yes, we're gonna, have those moments where it's you're gonna have those heartfelt moments. You're gonna have all encompassing, but at the end of the day, it's about their growth, because that's what's going to separate them from their peers, because they were blessed to be a part of an organization and get something that others don't get. that looks like them. Is that separation, and really just highlighting that separation, that level of growth. Man, it's something that can't be understated when you're watching a child. You know, as a father, watching your kids start to take on the same lingo that you use, and seeing the world through different perspectives, and starting to challenge different things, and starting to really that self-discovery aspect. Like it's so vital, because all throughout school, you know, not knocking anything, school is very rigid. It's about, you know, getting this next test, this standardized test. Like that's all the beats. So all school year, they haven't been really focusing on themselves and growing spiritually, mentally, emotionally from I guess a more all-encompassing aspect, instead of just getting ready for a test, man. And so they have this environment, do that, and we're blessed to be able to facilitate that and watch that happen and to help that happen.
I always said, and I'll let you go, but I always said, to your point, I always wanted the kids to come to our summer program within those 8 weeks and be able to say, man, I felt like I was more impacted through these 8 weeks than there was the whole 10 months I spent in school. And it's always been a goal of mine, because I understand the programming, we're reaching them. You know what I mean? Again, like you're saying, in the school setting, obviously they're being taught, but they're being taught things that it's not relatable. It's not things that that's not really helping. Kids understand now that this is not going to get me anywhere in my future. This is not leading me anywhere. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, we actually giving them the things that's going to help them. No question about it's going to help them in the future. You get what I'm saying? I think that's going to impact. What were you guys saying?
Yeah, when you said that the kids that are in the program, 25 kids that's in the program, they're blessed to be with us. I know Jamie stated plenty of times before where we missed out on, well, not missed out, but there were 50 families that we had to turn down. That speaks to what we're doing. You know, regardless if we could say that the kids, better yet, I say it like this: the kids that were in the program, they're able to go back and show the community that they learned something, and there was something that they were able to take away that they can use later on in life. And I think that's bigger than anything, because again, like you just stated, within those 8 weeks, they can say that they've grown, and it's something that they can use later on in life to help excel their life. You know what I'm saying? Where they want to be at in life. And I think that's real big. That's real impactful, because you got a lot of people that are just doing something. It's like they're just moving. You know, they're not getting anything done. But in the instance, in the thinking along the lines of what we do within those 8 weeks, man, things are being done. These kids are being taught. These kids are being shown. These kids are meeting new people. These kids are their minds have been expanded to newer, bigger things that can help them later on in life. And I think that's more impactful than any, you know.
And even to your point, Brother Miles, you were saying the growth. So growth is obviously, so I believe, can anybody come into this program within these 8 weeks and say they didn't grow? I kind of want to pinpoint, go even more deeper. Like what type of, what are you looking forward to most of seeing when it comes to growth? So for example, we just talked about the physical fitness thing. We just went in depth into that. You know, we got a communication class and different things. So different areas of growth we have within the program. Which one are you more so just ready to see, or ready looking forward to most as far as when it comes to that growth?
It's hard to pinpoint one specific, I guess, like genre or specific thing of growth that I would pinpoint as the most, because, you know, every kid is different, you know, so it's more so understanding, or did that kid understand that I need to grow in this realm?
Mm-hmm.
And now I understand why I need to, and I'm starting to put together that work to improve it in that realm, wherever it may be. It may be you know, athleticism. It may be just pure knowledge base. It may be all the things that we're going to expose them to and teach them throughout the summer, but it's going to be specific per child. And again, that's why it's a blessing, because in school you don't have that luxury per se. Not to dismiss or to say that you can't discover or improve on an individual level in school, but it's just a little bit different. With this, is more so, look, you have this, we're giving you this space, this room to be molded, to grow into this, you know, this future young man. So I can't really pinpoint one thing directly, but I would say if I had to, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and say the growth of the mindset of being aware how important growth is. So if we see that happening in all of the boys, I would count it, a divine success, man. I mean, it's you can't get any better than that to instill that mentality, how important growth is and how to understand it for yourself and how to find those avenues of growth for yourself, for what you understand that you need the most.
Yeah. Speaking of growth, man, growth is an amazing thing. Y'all know we live in the best city in the world, right? When we talk about growth, we live in the best city in the world. You know what I mean? The best state in the world.
The stats that I just gave you.
Hey, brother, man, we live in the best city in the world. And, man, these folks are saying that we the number one city for folks to move to in the U.S. We ain't talking about in Florida. It's like in the U.S. So when we think about those things, obviously, that's going to impact what we do. So as we're doing the work that we do, and we understand that and I think the statistics like for every 300 that's moving in, one moving out, 300 moving in, there's some crazy. And again, I'm not, don't quote me at
that. Every 100 moving out, 330 moving in.
Yep. Okay, and if you know statistics, then you can number, that's crazy. So we becoming to be overloaded. So everything that we're doing, that means more young men are moving in our community. We have more people to impact. We have more people to reach. So what we're doing, we have to expand it because things are going to get worse. In the sense, when you think about when more population, more things come about, so our presence is going to be more needed. So when y'all think about them numbers, what do y'all think about when you think about Ocala being? So where do we fit into that growth? What do you think about when you see the growth?
When I see the growth, man, and just to piggyback off Miles, so looking at what position or what place that we will play, communication. Because we understand how to communicate. And I think that's one thing that within the mentorship that we have, within the mentors, we know that we have to be able to communicate with everybody, not just the people that we look like. And I think, with me being in the corporate, working in the corporate side of things, so corporate world for 7 years, I understand there's a way that I have to carry myself. There's a way that I have to present myself. And if that's not, had I not been taught that at a younger age from, growing up with our family, then, with our dad and our mom showing us teaching us those things, I would have never been able to excel in that place. There is a lot of young men that we come in contact with that do not have a father, that do not have a mother that can say those same things as far as, what they experience. Not to diminish what they've been taught, but some people haven't excelled to those levels to be said that I take pride in men a department manager. There are a lot of men that I work with that hadn't got to that level, but I understand what I had to do, the way that I had to communicate, not only to my managers, but to the people that worked under me. So being able to teach these young boys how to communicate, not just in the corporate side of things, but being able to communicate to their peers, communicate to their teachers, being able to communicate to their mentors when things are not going right. I think communication is one of the biggest keys in order, to help a young man or to help a person get ahead of life. Communication is very big. So I think that's one thing for sure.
I say opportunity. And what I mean by opportunity, through growth comes opportunity, but through opportunity also comes a price. As we're growing, we're the number one destination to move in. There's a price to that. It's infrastructure price. There's a price on, with our systems, the medical systems, with the police department. There's a price to every amount of growth and opportunity that comes with things. So with that growth is just understanding that pattern, that trajectory. Okay, so we're in the growth stage. We have grown. That's going to net opportunities, but we have to be cognizant of that cost. And if you take care of that cost, then you can relish in that growth a lot more in a genuine way to where it's not becoming a negative. So it's controlling that opportunity because more people gonna come in. So yes, there's a greater opportunity for more crime or more issues in the city. But it doesn't have to be that way. And simply put, that's how people need to think about it. It doesn't have to be that way. But since it doesn't have to be that way, what you want to do about it? Yeah. So we need people to work. We need people to connect to grow this thing so that we can control that opportunity so that the growth and everything else is in a positive means.
Yeah, I love that. So when we talk about solutions, and I love what you just said because it doesn't have to be that way, but solutions. But think about it. So think about where, obviously we know where our city's going, but it's not there yet. But people are moving there now. You get what I'm saying? So we have to get to the bottom of this now. So think about it in the landscape of if we have kids more kids are coming in our community, but we still don't have things for them to do. So like you say, crime and stuff goes up. What are some things that can be done to help in that to make sure that these kids that are coming into our community, that they aren't, you go find being idle or being just sitting around doing nothing and then start getting into the crime? Because that's what happened, bro. Because again, if they have nothing to do, they're gonna be start clicking up together, and their kids are gonna be around breaking the cars. You know what I mean? Stealing cars and doing all these stupid things. What are something, especially for us, because we're answering this problem. For you, we are the answer.
Right.
What are some things that we can do it now? And it's not just for you, this is on both of y'all. What are some things that we can do right now to make sure that all these kids that are moving into their community, that we make sure that they know we are here and that they can come to us and they don't have to be in front of in all this foolishness?
It starts with telling the story that is what is right now, because it goes back to exposure, right? So if the story of KD and the impact isn't exposed, or people not exposed to that story, they're not understanding that there are people out here doing the work. Because oftentimes, as soon as you hear about something, right? So again, we're talking about growth, opportunity, different things, and controlling the opportunity. You hear about a shooting in Ocala now because everybody's understanding that more people moving there. The first thing they do is say, "Oh, Ocala's getting crazy." Shootings have happened in Ocala since the dawn of man, since it became a city. You're going to have those same things happen. So it's not getting so caught up in like, oh, well, it's more of this and da-da-da going on. It's more so showcasing. And it's not just on us, but everybody that's out there in the community doing great work, because there are many people out in the community doing great work. But you have to showcase that and network with one another so that it can be, negativity has to be drowned out with positivity. Oftentimes we don't contest negativity when it's posted or when it's taught out in the open. We have to combat that. And we have too many people doing too many great things in our community to not be showcasing that, celebrating that we have a wonderful local community that cares deeply about each and every last person and the area itself. Getting that out there, and it becomes infections. People want to see good in this world. They want to see good in where they live. So it's more so getting together and showcasing that. And it's simple, but sometimes we miss the simple pieces that overly complicate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give out, just like you just said. There are other organizations, there are other people within the community of Ocala doing great things. However, Kut Different is it. You feel me? And to your point, it has to be showcased. We have to show the engagement that we have with the youth. We have to show the things, the excitement that these young men are being able to take back to their homes, to their families, and to show. We did a workshop. We had how many mothers did we have say, when the kids came home from being shown how to change oil, that they wanted to go home to change their parents' oil, their mother's oil. Those are things that needed to be showcased so that these young men can take something back to show that, hey, mom, I can add value to this world, or I can add value to the family when I'm a single, you're a single parent. I'm the man of the house. Mom, let me be the man of the house to help take care of me. Those are the type of things that got to be shown. Mom, I went on a trip, or they could be shown that we went on these trips that these other young men went on. Somebody 13 years old been able to get a scholarship at 13 from a financial firm because of the way that he communicated. That's big. They didn't know those opportunities existed. But if that's continuously showcased, if that's continuously spread, not just from the Kut Different body, but from the community that sees that there's an organization doing great things, I feel like that'll be able to reach those new the young boys that are coming into Marion County.
I feel even with the likes of like stories like Demir, man. That last week, man, that touched me dearly to see Demir graduating, man, and to understand where he came from to where he's at now. And that's the call you get often. So think about where Demir was at, man. Those are the calls we get often when parents are calling and saying, well, my child is doing this. And man, Demir was a frequent flyer. Every day you get a call about Demir. You'll be on campus and he see you and you still gonna get a call about Demir. Like he was bad, bro. Like he was bad off. But to see his trajectory and see now that we have a meeting saying we're gonna make him the leader of anything, to even think that's been his trajectory, man. That's crazy. And obviously kudos to him. But we know that we've been a part of getting him to that spot. And then when we think about any other young man in our community that may be drifting away, I understand that we have an infrastructure, that we have strategies, that we have a system that can get them back. It just has to be trusted. There's no young man that we won't get into this organization. And if they want it themselves, obviously, 'cause that's where it starts. They got to want it themselves. But if they want it themselves, you won't turn it around. No young man. You know what I mean? I think that's what we giving off. So obviously, you know, the growth in Ocala, we're gonna play a part in that, and we're gonna help make sure things are being facilitated the way it should be. So I just had to mention that because we do live in the best city in the world. So I had to give our city some credit. So shout out to Ocala. God is in Ocala. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to Javi. But even getting back to the summer program, man, I do want to kind of talk about our banquet a little bit. All right. So as I said, July 26th, you got to be there. July 26th. 2024 at 7 p.m. You got to be there, man. When this podcast come out, the tickets will already be on sale. They're $65, man. You have to go make sure you go out and get a ticket, man. This is going to be a night of the ages. I mean, all the superstars going to be in the building. We going to be in the building. The kids going to be in the building. And it's going to be a night of excellence. You know what I mean? We're going to have the boys in their suits. And we're going to do a lot of things, man. One of the things I'm really excited about is a communication course that we're doing. You're going to see one of our boys, the one that does the best during the course of the program. They're going to be able to stand on that stage tonight and give a speech. And one of the biggest things is communication. We talk about communication a lot. And being able to see them boys be able to understand that it's power in the tongue. It's power in being able to effectively give a message to people and be able to persuade people through your mouth. That's one of my biggest things I'm looking for. So as you talking about, I was asked y'all what y'all, most looking forward to the summer program. I want to see what y'all looking forward to more when we talking about the banquet, because I want these folks to hear how great our banquet is. So what are you looking forward to most when it comes to the banquet?
For me, I'm not even gonna lie. It's the getting the boys the appearance, the way that they appear. At the end of the day, some people have a misconception of what a young male, a black young male, may look like. But on this particular night, these boys are dressed to excellence. We're asking everybody to come out and dress the best. You know what I'm saying? So, and what I seen last summer was when these young men put them suits on with that KD on their chest, they wore that proudly, and they displayed that proudly. They were proud of themselves. What Dion say? What's the saying? Hey, look good, you feel good, you play good, you play good. All that ain't encompassing in one thing. So at the end of the day, after all these things, the trainings that they're going to go through with the PT, after the communication course that they're going to go through, then they get to look good and be able to display all of this at the same, put on my fit and be able to display all these good things that I learned within these 8 weeks. And that's one of the best feelings in the world, to see these young men actually be able to be proud of who they are in that moment and what they learned and how they look in that moment. I think for me, it's been, the dress hearing. Man, that's still separate mouth.
Yeah, I mean, it's to show what they invested in the whole time. It's an investment. It's not easy. We already know that it's tough times that come with growth. There's growing pains with everything. So seeing them overcome that and now be able to showcase that and to have that genuine pride in when you work hard at something, you invest in something, you throw your all at something, you get results from it. And that's the whole point. Is like I just said before, it doesn't have to be a certain way. And that's how people have to start looking at things. Instead of just complaining about stuff, it doesn't have to be that way. So, but in order for it to not be that way, there has to be an engagement. There has to be a work that's involved, and they're able to showcase that. But then not only that, but to have different people from the community that's not exactly us who engage with the boys all the time, being there and showing that support, and even engaging in parts of the banquet, because it all funnels back to showcasing what we all about, with showing that community is everything. We need community. And so now on the biggest night of the summer, they're able to showcase their investment, and they're there to sit there and do it with people from different walks of life in different areas all throughout Marion County. And those same people are able to participate and engage in the ceremony itself. And what better way to just really drive home that message of that it takes a village.
You just hit on something big. So we talk about the way, within that night, we have a lot of the kids within school, when they're in school, they get in trouble a lot. No knock on the schools, but you have a lot of the schools that call and say when these boys are doing wrong. And we get it. There are a lot of kids that play in a part of, what these young men do. But within these 8 weeks, we're able to see them put forth their best foot. You know what I'm saying? And instead of coming from a place of saying what your son did wrong, we're going to tell you where your son there, right? And how we see something in him as a coach. We see them as a mentor. We're able to see something in your son that you may not have heard or that you may not even see because you're still doing what you have to do as a parent. So for us, we're able to see that, and we're able to put that in front of the teachers, the school board, whoever the people, whoever's coming to our Met, we're able to showcase these young men, on the great things that they have done and the great things that they have shown when nobody else may see. And I think that's another big thing too, to highlight them for the good things that they are doing, so we can continue to build them up.
Yeah, for every kid that's in the org that's already pretty much doing the things they need to be doing, but they don't get the same attention because in school, it's the class clown, it's the one that's being disruptive that's going to get the most attention because it's loud. But now that kid is able to be seen for who he is and to be honored for who he is, and that's important. A child has to be edified, man. We sit here all day and tell somebody that they got to do better, they got to do this. But when they do it, are we actually paying attention to when they're doing it? Are we honoring and celebrating in those moments when they're doing it? It's a night for that young man that's in that case. In a case of a young man that has been struggling and getting in trouble throughout school, now he's able to showcase and celebrate that, look, I was able to overcome this. So again, it's edifying these young men and showing that they are growing. If they have been largely doing what they're supposed to be doing, well, let's pay attention to that, because we get so caught up in the negatives that when somebody's doing what they should be doing and excelling, that we just be like, well, you're supposed to do that. Well, again, it doesn't have to be that way. That works both ways. They don't have to sit there and do the right things, because we often see when these young men depart and they start doing the wrong things. So it's making sure, again, controlling the opportunity that when these young men come to us and they're showcased to the community, that they're being edified, so that they never forget that feeling. They never forget that it does pay off to invest in yourself when it comes down to this positive growth, this positive being.
Yeah. Nah, that's one of my to both of your points. So one of my greatest things that I like about that night is seeing that kid that may be a shy kid, seeing him put on that suit, and now he got his phone, like, you know what I'm saying, taking it, flicking it up. Like, you feel the confidence coming out of that child just by the way he looked, by putting that suit on. The ones that maybe never have put a full suit on, and just to be able to see the excitement in them when they do that, man, that's one of the most exciting things. And secondly, I think to your point, you kind of mentioned the partnerships. I'm ready to see the room filled with people that never interacted with the brand before, and being able to bring more people awareness to what we're doing, and be able to show people that, man, there's change happening. You get me? And say there's game-changing stuff going on right under your nose, and we need you to feel a part of. There's no person that has not came to our banquet or interacted with our boys and not left with high regards, as far as say how they carry themselves or how they speak and all the different things, bro. So it's so much, like, we get caught up in the day-to-day, and not saying we understand how excellent our boys are, but it's when you hear it from other people, that really brings a different, like, level of just like, yeah, you're right. Like, dang, I don't be even, because I'm so in it. Sometimes I don't take a step back to be like, man, that boy is overgrown. And he has in that moment, for me, that does that, boy, because especially on a night like that, because everything be so intense, we back to back. But then when you hear people like, man, that was so good, you're like, okay, people did their thing. And that's one of my side things. And obviously, close it out. And then that night, we always do the lock-in. So it's a lot of great vibes coming in, man. So I'm just super excited. I hope everybody that's watching, man, I hope you're excited as well. I hope you're excited for what's to come, the things that we're about to do, man. This summer, I'm telling you, it's going to be nothing like you ever seen. And just to throw a little bait out there, man, we'll be taking a trip up to Pensacola, man. We will be interacting with IHMC. I don't know what IHMC stands for. You go look it up. But they do a lot of things with, like, robotics and different things. So we'll be able to take the boys through an experience. We got a lot of other cool things in Pensacola. Then we'll be traveling down south to Miami. Miami for a lot of there. We'll be in Orlando. We're doing a lot of good things, man. So think about this, man. We're taking young men from the 352, the best city in the world, California, Florida, and we're taking them outside their environment and showing them more. I always say, man, you can tell a kid something. Your teacher could be like, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be these things, but that kid may look at you better. That may be your reality, but that's not my reality. Because when I go home, I don't see no doctors and I don't see no lawyer. So it's enough of telling these kids what they could be. We got to show them. So we walking these kids into the environment with them. We're not just sending them off. We're walking with them hand in hand and taking them through that experience and encouraging them and empowering them to say, you could be this. This is you. And I hope you see yourself in this experience. So, man, I'm so excited. I hope y'all see it, man. We just wanted to get on. Again, we had a team retreat, and we showing love, man. We coming in here, we team building. We're growing as a team, but we also building, the things that we do for our boys to show our boys that it's bigger. It's bigger than where they come from, and they can do anything that they put their mind to. All right, so I love it, man. So anything before we get off, fellas, any last remarks that y'all want to give to people about the banquet? About anything, man.
Just go. Hey, summer 2024, baby. You better beat them. I'm telling you, you're going to see it. Let's go.
Pack it out, man. Like I said before, these boys deserve to be edified. They deserve to be poured into by the community. It doesn't have to be your child to show support. And that's the whole message of what it is we do. It doesn't have to be yours. Because guess what? We often complain about a kid that's not ours when they're doing something wrong. So let's be engaged and be the change. Be involved. Work with that young man or that young woman, whoever it is, pour into them.
And be the change. So one thing we do before we get off, man, we got these shirts going on right now. So we can't get off without talking about these shirts. All right. So I'm going to let Brother Miles, we spin it to Brother Miles and let him talk a little bit more because the videos and everything should be out. So definitely go to our social medias when you see this video and you can see the videos and the content that we putting out. But I'll let Brother Miles explain more about the shirts.
Yeah. So we're selling custom-made t-shirts designed by yours truly. Is to honor and commemorate those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for us, our fallen soldiers. Memorial Day weekend is right around the corner, and for Memorial Day weekend, as a veteran, to you, I encourage you all to meet up with your friends and family. Enjoy your time with each other. Enjoy your time with the community. But remember what it's all about. Someone had to pay the ultimate sacrifice for us to live the lives that we do. So this is why we do what we do, and why we create these shirts, and it's to go towards the Ocala Marion Veteran Park. They're doing amazing things out there. It's a beautiful park. If you haven't gone already, I challenge you, I urge you, please go. Please go. It is a humbling experience. It's an amazing time for friends and family, everyone. We're working to bring a new statue to the park. It's a Gold Star family statue. A Gold Star family is a family that has lost a loved one in combat overseas. So the front print, obviously we have the KD logo, but we have a silhouette honoring those service members. Also, one heart, one mind, one community. It's everything that we preach about. We have to come together. We have to do this for each other. And lastly, all gave some gave all.
I love it, man. Hey, so if you don't get those shirts, man, I don't know what's wrong with you, all right? So support what we got going on. We got a fellow veteran in here. And, man, one thing about it, sometimes you're so wrapped up in what your four walls and what you have going on, and you don't understand that there's people that's really out here laying their life down every day for us to have the freedoms that we have. We take those things for granted, how free we are, how we able to just sit here and not worry about a bomb happening to drop on us right now, and not having to worry about the little simple things that that we take for granted, man. And I'm truly grateful for the veterans. I'm truly grateful for anybody that took that act to be able to serve our country, man. So to all the veterans, to all the people serving, man, we appreciate you for your service. I appreciate my brother here for his service and the things that he's done in his time as in the military. That's why he got Mr. Military Man. Mr. Military Man. So we appreciate it, man. But other than that, I need you to pause. Like, subscribe, and comment. Stop what you're doing and make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let me look at you in the eye. Like, why not? Why would you watch this podcast and not like? Why would you watch this podcast and not subscribe? Like, I just don't get it. You know what I mean? So what's the point? But I know you're going to do it. So we're not going to say that because I know you're going to do it right now. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Summer is coming up. You're going to get some more fire guests, and we're going to keep this thing going, man. So I'm going to close it out for you guys right now. All I want you to do, I want you to OYG, own your greatness. Summer 2024 is coming up. Kut Different is going to the moon. If you want to get on the rocket, make sure you sign, you get your waiver signed to get on board, and because we taking it. We need y'all to support and everybody with us on this journey. June 3rd is up. All right, June 3rd is up. That's the start of the summer program. We can't wait, man. We'll see y'all next week.